Okay, so in today's video about Jasmy, at first we are going to do a short-term analysis and see what is happening in this area, and I'm going to tell you why we may see in the next day or two another move on the downside, and then we are going to zoom out a bit more and I'm going to talk to you about a very familiar pattern that keeps happening in JasmyCoin, suggesting overall again we might see a move up soon. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones, and let's zoom in more and dive in and see what is going on. So if you remember the last time that we talked about Jasmy, sorry about that one, we were somewhere around these areas, and I was saying in order for us to be able to be bullish with a bit more confidence, we need to wait a bit more and see are we going to get a move up in order to take these two highs and hopefully at that point get back above this important level, about let's say like 2.45 cents or not. If we do this, that's actually going to be a great sign, because when we were in here I was saying, look, so far we are just constantly seeing lower highs and lower lows, which means this is some sort of a downtrend. Is it a strong one? No, not really, but it is a downtrend. And when you can say that our move down is over, when we get a move up in order to take the previous major pivot high right around these areas. So what happened, as you can see, unfortunately we didn't get that move, and instead, as a result of Bybit getting hacked, not only in Bitcoin but also across the whole altcoin market, we got some big moves down, and Jasmy definitely was not an exception. Now here's the situation. I'm thinking right now this thing right in here is most likely not going to be an impulsive structure, because compared to this move down, it seems like that we are having in here a very slow and choppy move up, which means again it's a correction, and this can be an impulsive structure into an A or maybe a wave 1, followed by that correction for wave B or maybe a wave 2. And what's going to happen next, we are probably going to have at least another move down in the short term, again in the next day or two, in order to possibly take the lowest low down here about, let's say like 2 cents. Is this mean at that point we are going to be absolutely bearish? In my opinion, no. Why is that? Because when you zoom out a bit more, you realize that overall, starting from the highest side in here about, let's say like 2.7 cents, we are having generally a very slow and choppy move down, which is a characteristic of, you know it, if you are a regular viewer, a correction structure and not an impulse. And also this initial bounce back was actually quite strong, so there is still a good chance that we may have, we'll just take this one, okay, 5 wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and after our correction is over, hopefully we are going to get a decent move up into wave 3, 4, 5. And for now, let's not talk about our wave 4 and 5. Let's just focus on this move on the upside into wave 3, which I'm hoping that is going to happen very soon, potentially in the next couple of days. But again, if you do not want to be involved in any kind of short-term price action in Jasmy, just wait a bit more and see are we going to get a move up in order to get back above this level and also this one at the same time and do something like this. Because at that point, we are going to be able to be bullish with quite a bit more confidence, and we can say, look, in this downtrend, we have taken the previous major pivot high, which is a very, very important sign, suggesting that probably this downtrend is over and we are going to hopefully start at that point a solid uptrend in order to just continue setting higher highs and high lows, which in it I'm thinking we are going to take the highest high around, if we just go on H4 time frame, there we go, 6 cents, and we're gonna go quite a bit higher than that, because at that point we talked about this pattern so many times. I think right now is probably going to make you angry talking about it again, so let's just say at that point we're gonna form a very beautiful cup and handle structure, which the target for it is going to be somewhere around the next important resistance area, about 10 cents. So in terms of overall structures in Jasmy, I still stand by what I said. As long as we're not getting a solid break of this important level, which the lower band of it is about, let's say like 1.5 cents, I think we can definitely remain optimistic. Now let's go back on maybe like 30-minute chart. Sure. Okay, here's the deal. I told you earlier, in my opinion, this is a very slow and choppy move down. And if you pay attention a bit more, you can actually identify a falling wedge in this structure. You see, let's just take the lines in here. This is the upper line. Excuse me, what just happened? There we go. And this is going to be our lower line right in here. And I wonder how many times have we seen falling wedges in JasmyCoin in the short and also midterm. I don't know why, but somehow every single time that we get a correction structure in JasmyCoin, it's actually in form of a falling wedge, which is extremely annoying. Why is that? Because every time you want to say our correction is over and we're going to get a move up, we do get some sort of a bounce back, but after it we set another low, and in here a lot of people are going to be bearish and say we are going to get like a very strong move down, but we don't do it. Instead we get a bounce back and then we get another move down, which ended we barely set another low, and at one point we are going to get a very strong move up in order to get out of this pattern. And for example, if you remember, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when we got this huge move up in Jasmy, starting from the lowest low about 2.3 cents to about this high around 3.5 cents. And we said at that point, look, we are probably having a falling wedge structure right in here. Let's just take the lines. Okay. And I was really hoping that this is going to be the end of our move down and we are going to start a massive uptrend. And unfortunately, as you can see, we definitely didn't do that. And in order for you to see just how common it is to have a falling wedge in JasmyCoin's price chart, let's check out some previous examples. So this move down, as you can see, was actually our last leg on the downside. And what do we have in here? This is also a falling wedge. There we go. And this is our lower line. And what happened at the end? We got a break of our pattern. Now let's zoom in more in here, because I think also in this period of time right in here we are also having a falling wedge structure. There we go. Here are the lines for it, and this is the upper line. Okay, and as you can see, when we got a break of the pattern, we continued our uptrend. And even when you zoom out a bit more and for example you go on H4 time frame, you realize that look, even in this whole phase on the downside, you can argue that we are having a falling wedge structure. This is the upper line and this can be our lower line right in here. And again, once more, we got a break of our pattern on the upside. And I think I have seen some examples also in this period of time. This is also another falling wedge pattern from this point. Okay, what just happened to about here? So you see, falling wedges happening in Jasmy are very common, and it might actually be the most annoying pattern because it takes quite a bit of time, and at the end it will actually drive people crazy, but you just have to be patient. And I think in the short term also in this area we may have the same falling wedge scenario. So I think it's just a bit of a waiting game, and we do need to be a bit patient and see hopefully soon a move up in order to get a break of the upper line. And by the way, here's a very important point. This is about a support, resistance, or any kind of trend line. Whenever you touch it more than, let's say, like 3 times, at that point chances of getting a break of it is going to just increase more and more. For example, let's say this is like a support. If you do this 1, 2, 3 touches, at that point we are going to say every single time that we touch this important region, we should be counting more on getting a break of it and, for example, not getting a bounce back off of it. And why do I say that? Because in Jasmy, in this trend line, how many times are we touching this thing? Let's just have a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can actually argue this is another time, which means we are touching this trend line about 6 times. And well, I'm gonna say this is actually quite a weak one at the moment. And again, it does suggest that probably soon we are going to get a break of it and hopefully start another solid move up, which ended just for like very short term. We are going to take the highest side in this region for the first target around 2.75 cents. So overall, I would say not a whole lot has changed. And in Jasmy, in this area, I am still bullish. It's just the fact that maybe before we get our move up, we are going to do something like this. And in that case, I'm really not going to be worried about anything. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in JasmyCoin's chart. Anyway, If you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some DCNTA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.